Let's finish this out. Jared and Hana sat on the train, chugging slowly towards the city. Hana had full cut on. Jared told her he didn't believe that his mom would leave room for her change and just another way to sabotage her. Anyways, I told her Norris, and I'll be reading the story for the rest of the route and the route that comes after it, and I did as I did before. In Hana's lap sat a small satchel, the same one Maya had used when she kidnapped Jared and her and took them to the beach. Her regular Asagao uniform was in there, along with her normal square jacket. She didn't need it, but having it with her gave her such sort of pride and hope. If she could do that, she could do anything. There's something much she wanted to say. They wanted to say to each other. Nothing much they could say to each other. I knew what was going on in Jared's mind. A blind fury of panic, anxiety, and guilt. Without Hana's lessons, he profusely apologized having put her into the position where she had to do something like this. No matter how she tried to assure him that she didn't care, that it was worth it for him, he couldn't let it go. Any time her eyes drooped or she yawned, if her stomach growled or her mind wandered, she saw the same look of guilt across his face. Now he sat, chin in his hand, watching as the train slowly pulled into the station. Hana drew the rough fabric together in her fist. It was time to meet Jared's mother. When they stepped out of the station, Jared flagged down a taxi. Had to drive for about 30 minutes to the city streets and then something like the countryside. Slowly they rose into the mountains before finally a taxi driver dropped them off at the beginning of a cobblestone path. Jared paid the tab without even blinking, and Hana shook her head. What could she do with that what she could do with that money? What her father could do with that money? Jared took her hand as they wandered down the path, until finally he sighed. There it is. Home. Now the Japanese style building rose out of the forest, built in what looked like a natural clearing. The path led right up to the door, and Jared helped Hana up the steps, apologizing for forcing her to rustle her stitched piece of clothing. You ready? She nodded, her mouth suddenly dry. She was not ready. He opened the screen door and led her quietly into the room. Even Jared's mom sparkles. She must be a vampire. Or a witch. She could be both, for all I know. I've played some Skyrim, and those vampires are very well versed in magic. Especially when you raid their fortress, just because you're bored, nothing better to do. They found a larger room, so the woman who could only be Jared's mother. Smiled at Jared walked in, but then she saw Hana. She glanced at her Yukata, and then a smile slid off her face. She appeared. She just be less from my Jared. Oh, nice to meet you. I hope. Spared the pleasantries, no plan on maintaining your acquaintance. Her words stung, but Hana tried as hard as she could not to let it show. Everything she knew about Jared's mother, a small part of her hoped that she would somehow, for some reason, change her mind. Jared's face fell too, and she knew he had entertained the same hope. When she stood appeared, the audience could read their sister and guests gathered here. Hana behind her, and as the first time, she saw a small crowd of old adults lining the walls in the back of the room. Her heart thudded against her chest as she glanced across faces. She knew these people. She'd seen these people in her mother's magazines on cards that came with the powder she bought. She called into the room to show her her latest finds and tell how one day of hope she was to meet Mr. Satoru or Miss Sakura. And now stood in front of her, flesh and blood, exacting looks roll up and down person. She straightened, suddenly panicked. She heard Jared softly curse under his breath. "Hey, wait, you've wasted their time. I do hope this will make up for it." She looked fearfully at Jared, but he just shook his head. Knowing that purposely given them the wrong time, there's nothing he could do. Jared walked to the back of the room and took a seat with the rest of the observers, and Jared's mother led Hana to the center of the room and the equipment that sat in front of her. As Hana sat opposite from her, careful to first bow and show proper respect to her, she started to gain a bit of confidence. She might try to mess her up, but she had practiced. She was prepared. She felt the equipment that she'd be using, and her heart stopped. She had very hard to maintain a calm, serene expression, and Jared glanced at Jared. He was pale as a sheet. Claire was sitting in front of her. Some were familiar, but others looked like something she had never seen before. Even the tea was different. Instead of the matcha she used Jared, they were actual tea leaves. Her hands started to sweat, then to shake. She didn't know what she was supposed to do for the first step. She didn't understand. She spent hours every day. She knew what she was doing. She knew how to perform basic. Oh, and to my falsely, and yet Aunt Joe's mother expected her to be at a level, at some kind of master level. Her hands fell into her lap. She hung her head. There was rustling amongst people watching. She dared a glance at Jared's mother, fearful of the anger she would find there. She was angry. She was smiling. She felt a gentle hand place itself on her back, and Jared was quiet next to her. Take my seat. Don't worry. She nodded, tears pricking her eyes. She failed. They failed. She stood and bowed, and then took Jared's place in the back of the room, not making eye contact with anyone. Jared zoomed from where Hana left off. She could call it that, serving the tea elegantly and with flawless poise, as if this was what he intended to happen all along. He showed his mother the proper respect, despite the which did them. She wasn't sure whether she was proud of him or angry at him. By the time he had this, the guest of Domingo Dread instantly came to Hana's side. Come on, let's go change. He took her out of the room and over to a different area. My room's in here. Let me know when you're done. Hana was sorry, headed to the room, but he caught her arm. Hey, there's something you could do. I had hoped she actually meant to give you a chance, but I should have known better. But I should have known better. There's no way you could have prepared for what she did to you. This one ceremony is usually founded by the Nishika family and only taught to our most loyal students of Petals supporters. There's no chance in the beginning. I wasn't sure whether what he said was supposed to make her feel better or worse, but she definitely felt worse. We went and have dinner with her after the guests leave. Just try to be yourself. I'm sure she'll understand. Said that, but Hana could tell by the look on his face that he didn't believe it all. Hana stepped into the room. What did happen? Alright. The room was completely bare. There was a small cushion mattress between Jared's bed and a few books in a single tier shelf on the back wall. Other than that, nothing. Hana changed her clothes quickly. The room felt odd, almost hostile. She didn't feel comfortable there. Not one bit. Hana emerged from the room. Yukata and jacket in her bag. Jared, was that really your room? Hotel of memories, isn't it? I should be studying to have much fun. At least that's what my mom told me when I complained. Jared. Hana searched his face. How much had he suffered under his mother? He never seemed to want to talk about it or give me details. Or give her details. But if this was anything to go off of, Jared took Hana's hand away from his face, rubbing the back with his thumb. Not here. I'm sorry. How did I like this one bit? She wanted him to stop apologizing, wanted him to stop looking at her with a sorry expression. She wanted to get dinner over with. When we had dinner again, Jared's mother was seated at a table. The guest had gone. More time we showed up. Jared found but gently guided Hana into one of the two seats opposite his mother. They bowed politely and sat down, at which point she clapped her hands and a worker or a chef of some kind, brought the food and scurried out. Picked up the chopsticks, but Jared made his mother pick the food from the plate. Hana followed suit, watching her pick the best pieces of cooked beef, the juiciest looking vegetables for her plate. At the last meal, she saw no point in pleasing us. When she finished, they served themselves, and the crowd began to eat. It was possible as she could. All the table manners father had ever taught her rang through her skull. There was no way she could match Jared or his mother. She had expected anyone to exude more grace and falseness than Jared, but now that she saw his mother, she realized she was wrong. She was fluid, almost like a river, but from every calm, dance-like movement, she could sense the ferocity of a raging waterfall. Absolutely immaculate. Makeup Jana as a professional artist. Her clothes wrinkle-free, looking almost like they were on a mannequin. Not a single move was wasted. Not a single bit of effort expanded that didn't have to be. She was acting. She was ferocious. She was flawless. She was cold. Hana turned her eyes to her bowl, but in 5 to 8 minutes, not a single sentence was spoken. Hana glanced at Jared and sighed, his lips pressed tightly together. She wondered whether he ever spoke to his mother first, whether he was even allowed to. When he looked both sides, Hana almost jumped, so harsh was the change. So I have an alcoholic son? Alcoholic for a son, do I? Joe saw it hard, but he kept his eyes on his plate. The alcoholic was delinquent, a boor, so skips class, and on top of that, doesn't fulfill his obligations. So makes past promises to the populace. Fails over on them. Someone who begged and begged him for years to let him have a hobby, and when you finally gets on him, best for agreement, someone who falls through at his biggest moment. Is he official? Was she talking about his modeling? She refused to speak, but Hana saw his eyes glaze over and his movements become robotic. He was drawing again. Now she understood where it came from. Told you your good-for-nothing father that having a child would be unwise, but you knew your father. But you know your father, ever ambitious, ever loving, ever over-promising, and here we are. You should have listened to him. Her eyes grew wide, her mouth dry. She set the food down and took a drink of water. This is Joe's mother. This is who he grew up with, who he returned home to every day as a child, who was his sanctuary from the threats of the outside world. Hana shook her head. No, that's the world's probably his sanctuary from here. And you. Her gaze shifted to Hana, looking her in the eyes for the first time. This was across her skin. Do you think I ever heard of you? When I heard my daughter and Jared was dating someone, I looked into your history. You. A passionate girl, a motherless girl, a homewrecker, another delinquent. How does she know those things? How does she know this about me? About Hana. Hana wanted to ask Jared to see how he took what she was saying. She hadn't told him about her past, hadn't had a chance to explain what happened to her, or why she hated Asagao. She said those things to herself, wanting to leave them in the past, but now, in the worst way, I think I'll see through you. What do you want? Money? Status? Fame? I'll make sure you don't get a single drop. I'll make sure you and your worthless fathers are exactly where you came from. Certainly that's where you deserve to be. How I speak up? She wanted to say something to her, but her very presence coated the room like fog. And she didn't want to make it worse for Jared. Whatever happened to her, she could go home and never see her again. Jared, though, she had a turn here when vacation started. Hana's anger and horror quickly turned to frustration, and frustration quickly turned to tears. Horrified, she tried to blink them back, but that only seemed to make it worse. First she took it down her cheek. Jared's mom beamed. And now you're crying? My daughter found you. How you know redeeming qualities? Jared sat softness down on the table. Then Hana both jumped, turning to stare at him in utter shock. His mother looked as though he just slapped her across the face. I am sick of this. Sit down, Bauer. You listen to me. No, mother, you listen to me. I put up with you for 17 straight horribly awful, painful, jealous years of my life. I begged and begged for you to grant me an ounce of happiness or sunshine every day. You rejected me in favor of your own selfish greed and pointless ambition. All to have your pathetic sense of loneliness and abandonment. I have finally found something. Someone who makes me happy. Someone to show me that I still worth the damn, even if I wasn't perfect. Someone to show me that everything you taught me throughout my life was wrong. And I will be damned straight to hell if you think I'm going to let you take that away from me. I stared at Jared in awe, sparks practically flying off him. His mother gaped at him like a dying fish. As he looked at her face, his anger seemed to fade slightly. The way you want me to live is painful. It's claustrophobic. I'm sorry. I know what you want from me, and I know that you've sacrificed to get me there. But I won't live like that anymore, no matter what you try to do. I'm not perfect, neither are you. There's a strong chance Dad's son won't recognize you no matter what you do. You just accept it, and be happy that way. He hesitated, smelled the washed him like a wounded animal, scanning his every move for hidden motives. What should be most important? It's how we feel about ourselves, not how other people see us. That broke the spell. Fell four hands on top of the table, zooming across the exterior. Get out of this house. Beautiful stood. How someone should feed out to him. And he buckled with his mother before heading for the door. Don't come back to understand how to behave properly. Do you understand me? Till then, Mouse will not have a home. Joe opened the door and ushered on out, pausing for closing it. Bye, Mom. I love you. he shut the door. I tried to approach him, but instead he shook his head, leading her back up the shore to the road. He took her hand in his, and with the other pulled out his cell phone and called for a cab. When that was done, they watched in steady silence. Sorry. Joe stopped walking. What are you sorry for? I'm sorry that I messed up. I'm sorry that your mother hates me. I'm sorry that I never told you my past. I'm sorry for everything. Joe turned to pull her and hold on to hug. Please don't apologize, Hannah. You're worth it to me. Please don't let it get into your head. Hannah looked into his eyes and nodded. Okay, I won't. He smiled and kissed her gently, ever so gently, on the forehead. Thank you, my Hannah. For everything. Slowly, they began the long trip back to Asagao. The drive up to the train station was long and slow. Traffic filled the streets. As they were leaving that rush hour, and the driver filled the empty space, there was chatter about his 5-year-old son. Apparently was that he got along well with the chickens. No doubt he sensed the left her attention from their visit was trying to dissipate it, but instead he was dismayed. Curious to the men's words and smiled, and also a smile. Holly stared out the window, not sure what to make of anything. Once they were walking back to the dorm with the Gerard Renault Hoover's club jacket. Della sat and pulled around her shoulders, smiling as it stilled her busy mind. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. Right, so there's going to be something that he had to deal with, that they'd have to deal with at some point. But right now, their lives were at Asagao Academy, with mine and the Nobles Club, with Hidden Block Club. Joe's mother would come later. They could afford to shelve her for now. Hannah opened her eyes and found Jared with his head in his hands, worried. She put her arm around his shoulder. Hey, George, you okay? He shook his head. Don't worry, I'll be alright somehow. How? How? That's a good question. No, not that one. How could you ever forgive what I just put you through? Hannah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I never thought I was wrong. I'm so sorry. Shocked by the tone in his voice, how did he end up in his bag? It's okay, I forgive you. You don't do anything wrong. It was all your mom. I just said the word to say that to you. No, you stood up for me, remember? Told her right the heck off. I bet that felt good. She wiped his face and sat straight again, nodding. How'd I bit her lip? But what's what happened? Are you okay? Well, I probably see eye to eye, but I think that's okay. He saw sheepishly taking Hannah's hand in his. Ever since meeting you, I felt so free. I never believed that anyone would like me unless I lived up to what they wanted me to be. I thought the real me wouldn't be able to measure up. Then, over time, I was kind of messed up. I thought that even if someone could have liked the real me, they could never like the broken me. I tried to work with it. Keep people at distance, but to be frank, being with you has shown me that that's absolutely stupid. You messed up with, yes, even Paul, care about me because of who I am. Now who you expect me to be like? As much as I messed up, you've always given me the benefit of the doubt. You liked me regardless of whether I messed up, regardless of whether I was perfect. Hannah, thank you. I'm so thankful to meet someone as amazing as you. I didn't really do anything. Doesn't hurt that you're crazy hot either. Jared! I scratched on his shoulder and he laughed. Then he reached out to hold it. I was facing his hand. With the Suzy gallery, of course. Lots of those. You are the most beautiful person, you know that? Just stop. I'm in the mouth. I want you to cease to exist. Jared chuckled and drew her face, Hannah's face to his. She read time to register was happy before their lips met. In that moment, the only thing that existed for them was Jared. For her, was Jared. Time stopped as her eyes closed, and then Jared pulled away. So I hit her like PDA, but I couldn't help it this time. No, it was fine this time. Jared laughed again and pulled Hannah to his side. I love you, Hannah. That was it. Hannah was done. Hannah was dead. There was no more Hannah to exist. KO. Jared patted her on the cheek, and she tried about a response. The words getting caught in her mouth. Here, Jared nuzzled her neck. Don't worry, Hannah. I know. Best end. I gotta say something. Give me a minute. Actually, watch the credits. I had text pizza here, and it is. What is dog attention? Jet, say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Ah! Good boy. You're welcome. I like playing this game. And thanks to you guys for watching, but we're not done yet. So we're going to spend more time with each other. I want to spend more time with you. Yeah, I could be really annoying, but I can't lose and walk you back. Not even show for being a gentleman. Oh, good, ever the prince. Oh, best for a princess. Yoink, and how to get it again. Look how the judge just spoke. We did, it didn't feel the same way. The almost weird feeling that you standing on a stage performing for an audience of thousands instead of simply breaking, instead of simply speaking to Anna. They were alone. Now it felt like they were well and truly alone. They held hands as they made it to the girls' dorm. Over time, Hownick wasn't tight about PDA. They got better at understanding what was acceptable in public. Had Rocky's job, but at some point they realized they both made assumptions about and what Jared should and shouldn't do for her. Her girlfriend wasn't what she wasn't. They held these weird ideas to the light and found that, like opaque crystals, they poured everything they did when they tried to look through them. As soon as out, things got better. But the truth was that the things would never be truly perfect. They were very different people. Jared still had moments where he had to understand the way he put on a face for others, even around Hana. His brother still hated her guts. She tolerated her enough to keep around. But Hana was sure that if Jared and her continued dating for long enough, she was going to find a way to get rid of Hana. And she still had trouble articulating her feelings to him and deciding what was something she should bring up and what wasn't. But for now, they were happy. They were well and truly made so they're happy. Here we are. Yep, here we are. Hana blushed as her hand shook the handle of the door. I'm supposed to be back from practice for a bit. Do you want to come in? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, good. Her face is red as tomatoes. Hana pushed open the door and flipped on the light. Jared and Hana stood in the doorway, absolutely shocked. I patted her hair down nervously and Peter took her seriously from the floor. We were just, Bavarians, right, Mai?
Bingo.
Yeah, we were summoning them. For the bedroom floor. Yeah, because it was like, and, we're dating now. I knew it! I so called it. Did I call it, Jared? You did call it. I called it. Peter sheepishly rubbed the back of his neck, and Jared walked over and caught on his shoulder, giving him a thumbs up. Good dress, my friend. Thanks. We shall go over this sometime. Hana smiled at Mai, who was watching PUT. Jared had an intense whispered conversation. She saw stupidly, hurry over the moon and stars. Hana pulled her into a hug. I'm happy for you. Took him long enough, right? Hey! They all laughed. Mai pulled out a copy of Permit to Ride, a board game, Time Pilot Trains, explored across the map of Europe, and more than played it all the way until curfew. This was House of Asagao. Some days she couldn't believe it, but she had never been happier. Thank you, everyone, for everything. And now that's going to Sacred Stones to Ephraim's path. And I recommend this game to do the hardest route. So, I guess that's that. Until then, see you guys back on Make Bell for Ever Drop.